Hello, how may I help you?
We'd like to buy an engagement ring.
A jeweller's in Manchester and a young couple in love.
I like these. Want to try one on?
Please, yeah.
Try something like that.
Yeah.
Just try something, see how it's
Oh.
size.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's very nice. And what's the price of that?
Diamond, £305.
Away from the high street, another world of diamonds where the business deals are every bit as hard as the gemstones themselves.
I can give you $500, that's all.
No, $500 cannot pay.
$62 altogether.
$500, yes, no.
Try a little more.
Nice color, nice shape, everything. It's
$58.
difference is too big.
I not need to
Try the crystals.
Tonight, we report on the dark side of the diamond industry. We show how one of the world's richest companies has secretly been stripping one of the world's poorest nations of its main asset, diamonds from this mine. We interview the mining manager who blew the whistle on what was going on. And we meet a businessman who believes that the plunder of his country's mineral resources could lead to another famine in Africa.
We might very well come to the point in the very near future where there's very little that can be done to save this country.
Namibia, a forgotten country long denied its independence. Here for 20 years, South Africa has ignored international law, occupied the land by force, and refused to allow the formation of a democratic government. Behind the cover of military occupation, Namibia has been robbed of its mineral wealth. Here, a mining company has leased the world's largest diamond workings, taken away £5 billion worth of gems, and paid a rent of £130 a year. At the mouth of the Orange River, an accident of geology and the sands of time have laid down one of nature's rarest gifts to mankind. Lonely beaches encrusted with the finest gem diamonds in the world. Released by volcanic activity inland, the diamonds were originally thrown into the Orange River. Then, over the centuries, they were washed downstream and taken to the sea. Incoming tides put the finishing touches, bringing the diamonds ashore.
It's well known that they're the finest diamonds in the world. The highest average price, very fine quality, nice color, lovely diamonds.
What is it that makes them so special?
Partly because they're water-worn, they've been brought down the river, thrown up onto the beach. They're very nice shape. They just happen to be good quality and good color as well. The diamonds from Namibia probably are worth something like $200 per carat on average, whereas the diamonds from Zaire would be worth, say, $8 per carat on average.
The port of Luderitz, named after the first German colonial settler to come to Namibia. In the desert hinterland not far from here, the first diamonds were found 80 years ago, and a diamond boom began. But in 1918, Germany was stripped of her colonies. The Peace Treaty of Versailles handed Namibia to the Union of South Africa under a League of Nations mandate to promote the country's well-being and prepare for independence. 70 years later, Namibia is still waiting for its freedom. In the aftermath of war, one man saw a spectacular business opportunity to obtain a monopoly over the production and sale of Namibian gems. Ernest Oppenheimer became the king of diamonds. Oppenheimer was a financier with strong political connections in Britain and America. He warned German owners of diamond concessions they would lose everything if they didn't come in with him. So they were given a share in his new company, Consolidated Diamond Mines, CDM. Next, he got the new South African authorities to endorse his title and sign over to him an area 3 times the size of Wales. He was given exclusive access and mining rights to it for 50 years. The rent for this huge private colony from which he could exclude all visitors was just £130 a year. Today, the no-entry signs are still in place and the rent has not increased. In a final masterstroke, Oppenheimer persuaded the South African administration to give away valuable profit-sharing rights Namibia had only just acquired. These rights would have given Namibia half the fabulous profits that have since been made from these beaches. In exchange, Namibia got a promise that the mining of diamonds would be supervised by an independent board. But Oppenheimer soon had this in his pocket, with his De Beers company providing the offices and most of the staff.
CDM is a phenomenally rich mine. The present value of diamonds sold is in the region of about £5,000 million. The working costs are extremely low and revenue is extremely high because of the high quality of diamonds, which gives a very high profit margin. I would say for a size, CDM is the most profitable mine in the world. The bulk of the money has just been taken out of the country with no reinvestment in regional development.
With the boom in demand for diamonds after the Second World War, a large mining town grew up at the mouth of the Orange River. There were neat family houses, for whites only. Black employees on the mine were very poorly paid. Under the notorious contract labor system, they were, and in the main still are, forced to live apart from their families if they wanted jobs. We wanted to film at the mine, but De Beers refused cooperation of any kind. Later, the police seized our own film in an attempt to prevent it being shown on British television.
The conditions there are very bad. The mine owners are all non-Namibians, and it's not surprising that wealth which is produced is not shared amongst the Namibians. And I think greed has played a major role in the whole mining operations there. So it's really sad that you find workers who worked for CDM for many years very poor.
In 1966, in a bid to make progress towards a democratic election and independence, the United Nations cancelled South Africa's mandate to govern Namibia. With their mining lease running out and independence now firmly on the agenda, De Beers began to target those parts of the mine with the richest deposits of diamonds. This is known as high grading, or picking the eyes of the mine. By overmining in this way since 1971, De Beers has helped itself to an extra £1 billion worth of diamonds from Namibia. Yet this theft of the country's main asset only came to light in what, for De Beers, was a series of unfortunate coincidences. First, one of South Africa's senior judges, Mr. Justice Tyrion, was appointed to start a routine commission of inquiry into allegations of maladministration. Next, a leading businessman began asking questions about the causes of the country's growing economic crisis. Then, one of De Beers' own senior employees decided he should expose what had been going on at the mine. Here in the nation's capital, Windhoek, in 1982, Judge Tyrion's inquiry began by probing petty corruption in building contracts. But before long, businessman Eric Lang drew the judge's attention to something far more controversial.
I started doing an investigation into the economy to see what the future prospects would be. I approached the necessary government departments for statistics and was surprised that no statistics were available to the general public.
Government contacts began feeding Lang with information.
I found that there was no control over the export of minerals. And so my estimate was that approximately 20 to 25% of minerals were being removed out of the country without any control whatsoever.
So what did you do about this state of affairs?
Well, I approached